glorify you, Jesus. Magnify you, Lord. You're worthy of the glory, Lord.
The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Last week, we concluded with the fact that God is trying to set it up so that the outcome from what you previously sowed is big enough to last, to take care of everything that you have going on now and still have enough left over to last you until the next time so that you have seed to sow. And today we're going to look at something that fits along those lines as well, because today we're going to look at sowing to yourself. One of the biggest things that I had to learn in my life some time back was to make sure that I understood how to sow to myself so that I could make sure that I was in place for the ones that I had to sow into. Because if you don't take care of yourself, then you're not going to be effective to the ones that you are supposed to be sowing into. And it doesn't matter if it's a family, if you're a mother or a father, it doesn't matter if you're a musician, it doesn't matter if you're a singer, it doesn't matter if you're a pastor, it doesn't matter if you're a farmer, it doesn't matter your position. If you don't take care of yourself and you're not sowing to yourself, you're not going to be able to be effective to the ones that God gives you to sow into. And in most cases, we don't think of it like that. You don't see it as, I got to take care of myself so that I can make sure that those that are sent to me are taken care of. It's usually just, I got to take care of me. But when you have a purpose of taking care of you, that is a kingdom purpose, it's going to help you to understand why he has you wired the way that you're wired. See, because first of all, even though some of y'all might feel it from time to time, you ain't crazy, okay? You ain't crazy. Because a lot of times when you, because some of these things are going to mess with you, okay? Because sometimes you see things like it happened in the tragedy that took place in South Carolina this week. You see those things, and right in the middle of you seeing those things, you start thinking about yourself. And usually it has nothing to do with the tragedy that you saw. You are just then at that point beginning to think about yourself in some good circumstances. You start to think back about some of your bad circumstances. You start to think back on some of your close calls. And then you'll come back to thinking about good stuff. And the enemy will come in and try to make you think that you don't have any compassion at that moment. Why am I enjoying? Why am I thinking about myself in a better circumstance? See, and that's one of the things that is not taught well enough in a lot of churches, is how do you take care of yourself during a hard time? How do you take care of yourself during a difficult time? How do you take care of yourself when things are going good? Because see, here's the issue. You have to ask yourself these two questions pretty much weekly. What have you sold to yourself? And how do you sow to yourself weekly? See, God set up a system for us to follow so that we are sowing into ourselves weekly. But most people won't follow it. When he set up the Sabbath was a time so that you could sow back into yourself. You got to have rest. As much as a machine that you think you are, that you can just keep on and 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 keep it on, and well, I got to do it. I gotta strike the iron while it's hot. Well, it's gonna get cold. It's gonna get real cold. And see, the issue is a lot of people think that the hot determines the outcome. That's why they keep striking at it. That's why they won't sow to themselves. That's why they'll keep skipping out on their rest. They'll keep skipping out on taking care of their bodies. They'll keep skipping out on relaxing. And then when they all burn out, Lord, why you let this happen to me? I told you to sit down. I told you to sit down weekly. I didn't tell you to sit down when you think you got a chance. I told you to sit down weekly. But you don't want to do that. I told you to make sure that you're resting. I told you to make sure that you're taking care of yourself weekly. But you think you can defy that. You think you can get away with that. And see, the whole key is that I'm wanting you to understand is that if you'll go with me to Amos chapter 9, because that's what I wanted you to look at last week. If you go with me to Amos chapter 9, I want to show you something that is supposed to be, once again, a design. Like I told you before, sowing and reaping are two separate systems. They're two separate systems, and you've got to understand how they work so that you can get them to work for you, so that you're not trying to work to get your outcome all the time. See, because some of y'all stay working even after you sowed and won't even wait for the reaping process. So you're going to work yourself to death, and then when it is time for you to receive, you too tired to even receive.
Right.
And you're so tired, and then, watch this, frustrated, that you don't even see the good when it's time for the good to start coming. See, the truth of the matter is, a lot of you have missed some harvests.
Yes. Amen.
Because you haven't been taught how to reap. See, a lot of people get caught up and once again, when it says it's more blessed to give than receive. It is. But he's not telling you not to receive. He's wanting you to understand how to keep your mentality, watch this, blessed. See, that's what you got to work on. You got to work on keeping your mentality blessed. Because when your mentality is not blessed, your outcome's not going to be blessed. And that's how you miss out on a lot of what's coming in for you, because you've already got a mentality that's not blessed. So when he puts the blessing in front of you, you're trying to see some finished product that you wasn't even supposed to be looking for. So you take that and you push it to the side. And then after you